Hello friends, I'm here once again to discuss the topic stage fear under the subject perspectives on neuro-linguistic programming. While discussing neuro-linguistic programming, we have also discussed that anchoring is one of the most important aspects of neuro-linguistic programming, because anchoring or to cover the stage is a kind of caliber where you have to control all your nerves, your brain, your gesture and posture. So how to become a very good stage presenter or an anchor, well, that we are going to discuss. The topic, as I said, it is stage fear. So first I'll discuss what do we mean by stage fear. What is the purpose to discuss of this topic. Now, as fright counter or reducing stage fear or stage fright. So, under this topic we shall cover all such point. Now, I would like to start with this quote: performance and inner strength. Take an active approach to the problem of performance anxiety. Don't let it ruin your life. Very important quotation or saying that if you have such kind of anxiety, if you have such kind of fear, don't let it ruin your career, your life. Try to counter that. Where there is a point you feel fear, you feel insecure, you feel to be very scared. If you look into, you will be able to overcome of this stage fear. So this aspect of stage fear or anchoring is very important whenever we discuss neuro-linguistic programming. Now, what is a stage fear? We should know that what do we mean by a stage fear. Somebody once rightly said, the human brain is wonderful organ. It begins functioning the moment you are born and does not stop until you are called upon to deliver a speech. Absolutely correct. Human brain is perhaps the best computers on this earth, and it is our caliber to utilize it maximum with the available resource. The most carefully prepared speeches are never heard because of this mind block called stage fear, nerves and topophobia. This is absolutely correct. You prepare yourself, you write well, you are sure that you will speak the best ever, but what happened on the stage? Suddenly, completely blackout. Completely block. Why such kind of blackout? Why such kind of block? This is called fear. This is called anxiety. This is called nervousness. This is called topophobia. So it is very important how to take this nervousness or stage fear to become a very good speaker or stage performer. When you are seated in the audience waiting for your turn to speak, you start thinking, I am scared of what might happen. My grammar is so bad. How can I do justice to such a vast subject in just 3 minutes or 5 minutes? Nervous to look at the size of the audience. And this happens not only with the new speaker or the new one, but maybe the seasoned one also. To see the size of audience, heart palpitation, that increases. That how to control the speech to present in the best manner possible. So these are the questions that come to every mind, whosoever tries to speak. Before you go to speak, and according to me, this is the kind of consciousness, over consciousness, or maybe the fear of failure. They all seem to be so clever, means the audience, I am making a fool out of myself. Suppose someone picks an argument with me All these thoughts make you a trifle anxious, and this increases your heartbeat. You start breathing faster, your mouth has dried up, your knees go wonky, your mind goes blank, and you are in the grip of that universal phenomenon called stage fear. It happens with everyone, as I said. Everyone may laugh. That is why I said that this kind of feeling is due to self-obsession. My image. What happen if I commit any mistake? What happen if I am unable to deliver a good talk? And that brings all these, the fast heartbeat, mouth dried up, the knees wonky, and mind goes blank. This is stage fear, and this is not a very casual kind of problem. It is a very serious problem. When you do become the center of attention, there is only one thing to do. Try to exit the situation by leaving your body. If you can't get out of the situation by avoiding the event, then you try to avoid the sensation felt inside. So the various kind of excitement and sensation comes, and it is better to you just focus on what you have to deliver. And the way to avoid the sensation is to leave your physical body by abandoning your awareness of it. If you are extra aware of your physical gesture and posture or your appearance, maybe it may cause harm to you. And this abandonment of the physical self occurs instantly or unconsciously, because whatever the practice you have done at your place, but when you are coming on the stage, it is spontaneous. Whatever you are doing unconsciously. So whenever you are trying to be very conscious, the entire presentation will turn into fiasco, into nothingness. What happens is that your mind withdraws full awareness from of body in an attempt to avoid intense emotions. You go into your head. Energetically, your awareness is drawn up into your head so that it becomes overstimulated with energy and sensation. Your head literally feels like it is swelling. From the neck down, you tighten the body in order to freeze the flow of feeling. If the body gets tense enough, it will shake in order to restore a flow of energy through the body. And it all happens so quickly that you can't stop it. It is as if you are trying to zoom out of the top of your head to get away from the sensation of the stage fright. Sensation or fear or excitement or anxiety. So very important point is that how would you withdraw yourself from the physical appearance, the kind of sensation that goes within before going to a stage is very important to locate, to minimize or to neutralize a stage fear. Now after that, what happens? Suddenly you are no longer present. You no longer have awareness of being in your body. Your awareness is somewhere else. Your body is standing there and your mouth may be speaking the words, but you are gone. You are no longer being there. Like you are swimming in the water, and if you leave your body, it starts floating. Similarly, if you are controlling too much your impulses or sensation, that may cause hindrances while you try to speak on a stage. So better you leave. So sometimes what happens that you are not at all aware of the physical presence, but the words will come out automatically from the mouth. This can also be one of the way to neutralize the effect of anxiety when you go to the stage, or to neutralize the stage fear. In becoming unpresent, suppose physically you feel that you are not there, but your words are coming out. So what happened in becoming unpresent? You choose not to be there. The mental part of your awareness withdraws from the physical and emotional parts, because you cannot stand to experience the fear, discomfort and shame felt in your body. Your mind perceives the situation as dire threat to your very survival. Sometimes it becomes the question of survival when you are on the stage, do or die, whether to speak or to run away. So how to face it? Because there is a struggle between your mind and your body. Because basically a stage fear it is a cognitive aspect, because the mind controls everything, your nervousness, your anxiety, so as to effect on your physical gesture and posture. Now this is splitting off your mind from body and emotions leaves you feeling disoriented and disintegrated. Your head may feel swollen and fuzzy, so filled with buzzing energy that you cannot think clearly. Your body loses strength and stability. Since your muscles are not relaxed, your body begins to shake and tremble in an attempt to get energy flowing. Now I am sure you can describe many more symptoms that occur, because it depends on the individual. It varies from one individual to other individual, including sweaty palms, fat tongue, neck and face flushing, heart pounding, loss of breath and high squeaky voice. It depends on the person how he or she is feeling while delivering a lecture, and how there is integrity between the mind and the body in a particular person. There is no way to do a great presentation or performance or to communicate effectively in this unpresent and disintegrated state. To regain your potential, you must begin to reintegrate the different aspects of yourself amid the intensity of being the center of attention. You must learn to stay present so that you have your whole self with all your parts working together. When you present, perform or communicate in front of others, this is the task, and though it seems daunting, it is not as difficult as it is expected. Now here comes the power of neuro-linguistic programming. That is the controlling the nerves, the language and programming, that is integrity of the mind and the body and the whole emotions. Because you cannot behave like this, that you leave the body and through mind you are speaking. You have to control the emotions and then mind, and then you need to deliver the lecture. So you have to take care of this part very clearly and cleverly. So for nearly every performer, stage fright is a very common state of mind. It may be for me also. Maybe sometime I feel very insecure that I may not deliver the best of mine. So it is not something unique, it happens with everyone. Maybe intensity varies, intensity for fear varies. So a sudden anxiety for either hurrying the performance or not performing at all are rather mild symptoms of the dreaded stage fright. Many people in the theatrical field have to deal with stage fright at some part of their careers, though only a handful know how to. Stage fright is mainly the fear of acting, singing or any other performance in front of an audience. Because the presence of audience is supposed to create fear or kind of anxiety. All people are creative performers. Everyone has creativity quality. Everyone is a performer. The degree to which they are able to realize their creative potential is primarily dependent on the nature of their own state of mind. Even though there are many different types of symptoms for stage fright. The most common symptoms of stage fright is the nervousness and sweating. I mean, this is the most common, though heart palpitation, I mean increasing, and sweating, mouth dried up, this is also there. That is why I said that stage fear is there in all creative person, but then the intensity may varies. A person who is creative, a person who wants to do the best will have such kind of anxiety. But if it goes, I mean, to the higher degree, then it may create failure as well. That is why it is very important to discuss what is a stage fear and how to counter a stage fear and what are the symptoms of a stage fear. Now, the performer's adrenaline rushes and his or her heart begins to beat faster as the performance time nears. Even the interview, even any kind of performance, I mean, you will feel the increased palpitation of the heart. The performer's body begins to sweat suddenly because of these sudden changes to try to keep calm. So, it is a kind of a struggle between your emotion, sensation, excitement and the nervous system. The palms, underarms, feet, forehead and back are most affected areas of the nervous sweat. After the nervous sweat, it is nausea and uncontrollable shaking. Well, this is the height of fear. It may not appear in all the person who have this stage fear. The nausea is caused from the overrush of adrenaline and makes the stomach irritated. Slight spasm of regurgitations may occur from the nausea as well as over salivation, fainting and blacking out is a symptom for those who have severe stage fright. That is why I am saying that the degree or the variations is there always whenever we talk of stage fright. Once again, the rush of adrenaline causes the performer to black out or faint, and this is a very serious condition. To some extent, fear is understood, but to such extent where you can faint and complete blackout is a kind of disease and you have to take care of that. So, overcoming a stage fright is a very hard process for performers, since a stage fright can come very harsh to some. Now, actors and musicians should first breathe deeply and run through the parts, since this is a good way to stay calm and keep the mind off of the upcoming performance. Smiling, thinking of the best possible outcome is another good way of keeping the mind off the pressure of failure. It is always advisable that whenever you have such kind of trauma, such kind of anxiety, better you think something else and you think of the moment when you can speak or deliver the best out of you have prepared. Now, a very pertinent question: how to be an effective performer? Does it mean that you study day and night and you just grab all these sentences and practice and practice and practice, or burning the candle the whole night, or the black circle around your eyes? How to be an effective performer? That is a very pertinent question. That do you think that doing all these you can be an effective performer? Or what is the way to be an effective performer? And then the another question, that where are you? Can you speak even 2 minutes? Can you speak even 1 minute? Can you go for extempore? And in front of a very small audience. So before making out such problem, it is very important to judge yourself, that where are you? You are a bold presenter, or you are extrovert, or you are introvert, or you have the caliber to face the audience. So this is a very pertinent question, where are you? You start with your friend, you start with your family members, and there you can assess yourself and your quality. Now, what is stage fright in another way? And the term stage fright has been defined in various ways. Several definitions are there. Now, the definitions show that stage fright is a state of being especially directed towards the future. When a person is obsessed for future, especially for image, what will happen? That makes the present also hell, and naturally when the future becomes the present, that is also going to be hell. At the core, definition of the problem is a feeling developed due to the lack of control about future events which are important to the person. And this is all the game of nervous system. How much you have control on the nervous system, that is very important point. You first take care of what is in front of you, that is the present. Instead, you are thinking of future unnecessarily. The thought of failing is very threatening to the self-image of the individual. Between the threats of possible dangers and the experienced fear, there is the following interchange, and let us see what are the interchanges. Those perceiving the most threat are likely to experience the greatest anxiety, and those who are most anxious are more likely to perceive performance conditions as more threatening. Now, very important to highlight, those perceiving most threat are likely to experience the greatest anxiety. Anxiety is a kind of nature. You are anxious, you don't know for the reason. And then the other perspective, that most anxious are more likely to perceive performance condition, the conditions, the surrounding. In situations like this, people respond with the so-called fight or flight response. The physiological system makes us ready to fight or run away. Although a performance on a stage does not present an immediate physical threat, the chance of failure can be so intimidating for the self-image of the performer that it brings about similar reactions as a life-threatening situation. Therefore, a stage fright is especially an imagined fear. Very correct, because we are conscious for the future, and it is an imagined future. What will happen? That is why I pose the question, where are you? Do you have extra anxiety, or you think more of future than of present? So, a stage fear is an imagined fear that makes you terrible all the time. Now, a stage fright consists of the following component: physiological component, because we were talking about the mind and the body, the emotion and the nervous system. So, physiological component, changes in our nervous system and hormonal system, which amongst other things might lead to an increased heart rate or pulse, dry mouth, sweaty or trembling hands, nausea, shortness of breath and blurry eyesight. This is also the height of nervousness. This is the physical component. Means appearing very uncomfortable, uneasy, and the body symptoms shows that you are not in the right state of mind. because your nervous system is going to collapse. Then the physical excitement is a natural response to the situation and is related to the flight or fight response with which people have reacted to frightening situation as of old. So the two strength or the two energy struggle together to overcome this kind of fright or fear. Now, cognitive component, as we already discussed, that stage fear is cognitive, because whatever we speak, it is, the controlling power is there in your mind. So, having trouble concentrating, experiencing a blackout, a heightened awareness, that is to say, being too focused on oneself and not enough on the task, being too focused on how others perceive him or her, negative thoughts about own abilities and the performance, and a distorted perception, wrong notes are experienced as more disastrous than they really are to others, that is listeners. Yes, it is the cognitive component, that is preoccupied notions. You are going to the stage and you are less bothered of your subject matter than you are looking at the audience, and you feel in yourself developing the negative thought that the look of the audience is very sarcastic, that they are not happy with you, that your performance is not good and you are going to lose your image. This is all cognitive component that you are developing yourself. And if you have this tendency to nurture negative thought more and more, even God can't save you. And that will certainly lead you towards failure and failure and failure. Now, an effective component, experiencing fear, panic, insecurity, feelings of inferiority. As I was telling you, that the cognitive and the physiological component. So, if you are experiencing all such fear, panic, insecurity, it is going to affect the entire psychology and psychic. You are a good speaker, you are an intelligent person, you have prepared well. But if, as I said, you support and you nurture the negative aspect more than whatever you have with you, your caliber, naturally it is going to affect you, it is going to ruin you, it is going to force you to lose your caliber to be a good speaker. Now, a behavioral component. More trouble with moving naturally, more mistakes, less expressive playing, or too exaggerated, more irregularities. It is very important that before you go to a stage or you are doing anchor, you go for practice. Because if you think that if you walk from here to there, maybe not comfortable, not good for the audience, you are creating more mistakes and you are not at all elaborating the point and causing irregularities. These are the behavioral component when we talk of stage fear and the effect of the negative thought. More general behavior changes such as avoidance, irritation, use of medication, these are all behavioral component. Now, these components influence each other mutually, like the behavioral, physiological and cognitive. You cannot say that the mind and body two different things and so is behavior. So, how to make a synthesis or synchronizing all the components mutually, very important. Negative thoughts, that is cognitive, you are developing the negative thoughts about the audience, about yourself, about the environment, the surrounding, about the performance, led to heightened physical symptoms, which increase the chance of making more mistakes. Yes, the moment you think that everything is wrong around you, you will start committing mistakes, and once you start committing mistakes or unable to control, then you can think of yourself. As a result, an impaired self-image, that is emotion, which causes negative thoughts and physical reactions to be stronger during a next performance. So, it is better always to think of what happened when you are delivering a talk, so that you can prepare well for your next performance. That can be taken as exercise. Now, the cognitive component, as is shown by research, is the most important factor in maintaining and increasing stage fright. According to the catastrophe theory, cognitive fear accompanied by physical tension leads to intensification of the stress reaction, with as a consequence a drastic drop in performance level. Yes, I mean, this is the research, that if you are increasing the stage fright, naturally there will be a drop in your performance level, that is decreasing the performance level. Now, people who suffer from performance anxiety suffer especially from the fear of being observed and criticized. It occurs in people who want to impress others in a certain situation, but who lack the belief in their own capacities that allow them to meet these expectations. Very true that the people who suffers from performance anxiety suffer especially the fear of being observed and criticized, and this is called that your imagined fear, that you are self-obsessed. You are very much conscious of the fact that your image may not spoil. Instead, you are thinking of the delivering your lecture well in front of the audience. So, the evolutionary of advantage of performance anxiety in a mild form lies in the fact that in order to impress others, fear stimulates the individual to prepare well, which increases the chance of a good result and therefore appreciation, acceptance by others. Yes, this is a very good idea. I mean, that is why I was saying that some kind of fear, some kind of anxiety is understood, because you are conscious to deliver the best and you are waiting for the hour. It should not reach up to the height to nurture the negative thought and everything. So, in the first case, the pressure is greater because the individual is completely responsible for the achievement. Yes, I mean, a good deliverer of talk is a kind of achievement. So, to achieve the target of being a good presenter is a very important point, and for that how to control the nervous system is very important. Now, what causes stage fright? My dear students, I will discuss what causes stage fright in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.